Good morning and welcome to Sewing Street on this glorious day after a week of horrible news. Isn't it wonderful to wake up to such glorious sunshine? And of course, happy Mother's Day to those amazing mommies, grannies, aunties, mommy's best friend, all of you out there. Well done for an amazing job. Congratulations. And I'm hoping today you're going to be able to enjoy these fantastic products we've got today. Wonderful new guest today, Angela Pressley, with her pattern from Thirza. I'm hoping I've said that correctly because I'm always very bad at pronouncing things. A gorgeous pattern for a dress as well as a top. And we've got some stunning fabrics. As many of you know, we are Sewing Street. You can find us on the website, www.sewingstreet.com. Otherwise, we've got our UK-based call centre, which is 0800 001 4433. I'm hoping I got that right because the slides changed as I said that. We've got that as a UK-based call centre, so any questions about the products you've seen today or on another show, give them a call. They've got all the answers to any questions you may have, and they're really, really helpful in every respect. Again, our one day P&P, so if you order something now in this show and then later at our 10 o'clock show, you only pay one P&P all day. It doesn't matter how you do that, whether that's on the website or on the call centre, only the one P&P. I'm John Cole Morgan. I think this is my 9th show with you. Thank you all so much for sending such wonderful feedbacks and comments on all of our social media. We've got the Sewing Street TV on social media for Facebook. And any questions that you have, perhaps you want to ask for the studio while we've got Angela here, pop that on. We're always monitoring the pages while we're on air. And it's great because we've got Angela here, so if there's anything particular you want, she's here to ask us. So this is the lovely pattern by Angela from Thirza. We're going to go into this later, but it's just the most wonderful pattern. And the great thing about it is it's got the sizes from size small 32 to 34, medium 36 to 38, and 40 to 42. That's for the top area. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the other word. And then you've got the waist region of 30 to 31 is small, medium 32 to 34, and large 35 to 37. So that caters for most sizes as well, which is really, really great. Again, it can be a dress or a top, so it's a bit of a multi-buy, really. We've got some fabulous fabrics here. I'm just loving these. These are 150 wide, but just look how fun it is. This is called Georgette, and it's in ochre. It's ½ metre, and I think it's 150 centimetres wide, and it's $4.99 for the ½ metre. If, for example, you're wanting to order 2 metres, what you do is you just order 4 ½ metres on the website, check out, and it'll come as a 2 metre piece. Really lovely for a summer dress, and you're going to see Angela's got a beautiful summer dress in another colourway with the same fabric. It's really pretty, and it's just so light and fresh. 100% polyester, and we've got this in the pink as well. They've called this coral, so this is the Georgette Prince Coral, ½ metre again. It's just really fun, and it's so vibrant, and the colours you can see, they just pop. And the great thing is, having Angela in today, she's going to be able to tell us exactly how much you need to make a dress. And her dress is really lovely. Sorry, I keep looking at her as over my arm here. It looks really lovely with this fabric. And it's just so flowy, and I love that. Very cute. And now we've got some well, not basic colours, but sort of standard staple colours that you need for everything. But just look at that. I love this colour. And this is a linen look, but it is cotton, and this is a linen, it's called linen look cotton. Go on, say that 3 times quickly. This is in royal blue, again in half a metre, and that's $5.99. And it's a really lovely feel to it as well. It's just not quite as flowy as that one, but it's a really lovely feel. So we've got that one in the royal blue, and I'm trying to fold this up, otherwise I get into a real mess, leaving my table all in a mess. And again, this is the linen look cotton in emerald. It's a great way to tell if a colour suits you, is actually just pop this up and then go on television and see if it works. I think I prefer the turquoise on me. A really lovely colour, that. And then the last colour we have in this is, and I haven't folded that anywhere near as neatly as the people did before me, we've got this as a really lovely purpley colour here. Oh, I'm just hearing this is called royal blue on the website. Same price point, exactly the same fabric, it's just a different colour. So we've called this royal blue. It looks a little bit purple. Maybe that's the royal about it, which I think is really pretty. And then what we'll do is we'll just go back and show you that turquoisey colour again, and that way we can get the right graphic in and you can have a check and see what it's called, because I'd like to know too. And this one's called turquoise. It's very early in the morning. You'll have to bear with me. I'm not very good at all of that, getting things up first thing. And that's the turquoise. And I do think this is my favourite. If you look at the, when you zoom back in, you can see it matches my eyes. Not even. So now we've got the, many of you are following us on social media. So what we'll do is, we've got the Sewing Street TV on Facebook, and then we've got Sewing Street on Instagram. And then on YouTube, we've got you at Sewing Street as well. And on the YouTube, you can then click subscribe and go from there. So wonderful to have you. We've now got the lovely Angela Pressley here. We're going to do the international hello.
With special elbow.
Special elbow. It's got to be done. And you can see how beautiful this fabric is.
Yes, I'm modelling it.
And you've got the lovely yellow as well. It's
That's
beautiful.
gorgeous too.
It's really lovely.
And it's lovely and floaty.
And you feel very springy.
Yes,
it's
yeah,
great.
they're gorgeous colours.
It's really
so
great. Well, welcome. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you.
And you've brought us our exclusive pattern.
I know.
I did say Thirza correctly,
Thirza,
didn't I?
yes. That might catch
Brilliant.
some people out, but anyway.
I know, because that was why I was thinking.
I just love the name.
They're fabulous.
I just love the name.
Now, this is for a top and for dressmaking.
Yes, yes. For the fabric, I was just going to say that if you're sort of more of a beginner, I would say maybe more the linen look.
Right.
With the cottons that you've shown us.
Is that because the fabric's a little easier to work with?
Yes, and the georgette is just a bit more slippy.
Okay.
So I would say that you know, if you're a bit more advanced, and
great.
so you might be. Just put that.
So
in,
how did you get into all this?
Oh, I studied textile design.
Did you?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
very clever.
Yes, so I studied textile design, and then I worked, I did my degree, worked in Italy, came back, worked in London.
In Italy?
Yes.
How
I love
lovely.
Italy.
Oh, I know.
And then I worked in London with different fashion houses and interior design houses as well.
Wow.
But then when I had my children, I set up a sewing school.
Oh, wonderful.
So I've been doing that for 15 years. In Herne Bay,
Gosh.
by the coast.
And this is the first time we've had one of your patterns.
Well, you see, the thing is, I've been teaching, and I know what patterns work, you know, and I know the instructions on what to point out.
And I suppose doing the school as well, if there are any errors or anything that you find along the way to make it easier.
So this has gone through my students and out the other end.
Even
so I've got lots of
better.
input about, you know, that's not clear and this is not clear. So, you know, hopefully it will be very clear for everybody to follow.
So I've just, while we've been talking, I've opened this up because I do no dressmaking, obviously, because I don't wear dresses. But I always find it really interesting looking at how you cut these all out.
Yes, it's quite an art. It's a precision, and also the way you. This is the grain line.
Oh,
so
is that what this is?
And that's how you
Right.
should lay it out on the fabric.
Right.
Because it's if the neckband here, it's not actually straight down perpendicular. It's at an angle. So you want that. Neckband piece to be slightly cut on the bias.
So that you can stretch it around
So
a
it just
little bit.
lies flat.
Perfect. Now, I'm an idiot on these. What is a grain line?
Well, it will be parallel to the selvage.
Parallel to the
So
selvage.
you'll have it just at an angle like that. Yes,
Perfect.
parallel to the selvage.
So I think we can still see that there's the line there. That's your selvage there. So anybody who didn't know that, like me, you've got the parallel from there to there. That's where you're cutting it. So if
Yes.
you were doing this, you would just slide that along there.
Exactly.
Mark that out and go this.
Yeah. And it's on lovely quality paper. So.
And who would suit this sort of design?
Well, I teach lots of people, so I wanted to make something versatile. So obviously we've got the top and the dress, but it's quite loose fitting. There's a lot of ease.
Okay.
So it would suit most figures because you can either have it. So if you look at, I've got a bit belted here.
Yes.
So you can make your own self-tie belt, but you can also. This is the other dress version, and you can make it with two ties at the back here to bring it in.
Oh, that's
Or
fun.
you can open it up and just have it a free-flowing dress. Oops. Needs oiling.
We need a little oil on that.
So you can have it just as a free-flowing
dress.
So
Well.
it would suit, because a lot of people say they don't want it looking like a sort of free-flowing kind of sack. They want a bit of you know, cinching in a bit.
You can call that a sack. It's
well,
gorgeous.
yes, but you know.
It's beautiful.
And it's obviously got pockets.
And you've got this here as a top as well.
So the top, so we've got the facing here underneath there to a nice sort of rounded edge, which is very flattering.
Yes.
So it suits lots of it. The sleeve is not too tight. You know, it's a very versatile pattern.
But you get the top and the dress from one pattern.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Fabulous.
Yeah, you just chop it off where you want the top.
Right.
Well, or trace it, you know, and then you it's just been extended to make the dress.
Brilliant.
So, so it's all in the pattern. So the hem on the dress is just straight across,
right.
and the one on the top is just slightly, you know, rounded.
Rounded. And the great thing about the pattern, lots and lots of pictures.
Yeah, I took all the photographs myself.
That's brilliant. But the good thing is you've actually put wording on it in the tricky
I've done
sections.
belt and braces with these patterns, because I have used so many patterns in the past, and my students bring them, and we always have a conflab about how not clear they are and why they, you know, because if you're on your own sewing, it's so frustrating if you get to a point, yes, and it's not quite clear, and you're thinking, oh, and then that's where I come in, obviously, as a sewing teacher, and I just say, well, it's that, and it should have been a bit clearer, but I know where they're trying to go.
Exactly. Well, that's a lovely demo you've got going for us here already. This is the Thirza pattern. This what have we called it? The TV exclusive launch with Sewing Street. The Thirza sewing pattern for dress and top by the Sewing Club. And $15.99. That's a really good price.
Yeah. Well, for 2 garments.
For 2 garments. Yes. And it's one of those great things. The pattern you would use over and over again. Which
exactly.
Is great.
Well, all the different combinations.
Exactly.
Going back to it again.
Of course.
I mean, I'm, you know, quite thrifty, so you could use different fabrics here. If you've got a special fabric that you'd like to show on the neckband, the collar, you could have something.
Because I've noticed here on this one, you've done the collar as a bit of pop of. God, I love a bit of caif.
Yes. Popped it in there.
And I'm assuming you can also put that on the inside here if you wanted to.
Yeah.
What, are you going to show us how to do that?
Well, yeah. And then on the back, I'll just show you the 2 different versions. You've got a big pleat. So you're going to have that, or I think that's got a pleat.
That one's got a pleat.
Have I got a gather? I think I've got a gather.
Yes, you've got a gather.
Should I go to the back there?
Hide the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. You're fine. I can show
I didn't realise I'd got both of them with a pleat. So whatever you fancy, you know, if it's a bit too voluminous with a gather, you can just put a nice sharp pleat in it as well. Brilliant. So that could be a different fabric. Exactly. I've done a denim version with a little bit of caif along there. Just that little pop there. So you know, you look normal, sort of not normal, but you know, you look denim-y from the front.
But that's really
good.
Because
you know, you've got this lovely bit of excitement at the back,
which is great.
And the pockets, you can have a bit of colour with the pockets.
I love that.
That could be a different colour.
We've got denim on our website as well. We've got a really
it looks lovely in denim and
8-ounce denim on there, which is really lovely. So the great thing about our website is all the shows that we've had. When you go onto Sewing Street, I'm going to do it here on our new pad. Watch me not be able to use it. Oh, everybody else apparently has been quite scared of this, so I'm hoping I can do this right. I'm terrible with all forms of technology. Right, sewingstreet.com. And so you can see this is where you'll come up, and as you scroll up, oh look, it's me! And then obviously when you press the play on that, you'll be able to see. And then below there, you'll see all the different products that we've had on. And there are loads of pages of different products. And if you just keep going through there and you are looking for any denim, we've got that on here as well. So have a little look through the website. There are pages and pages. Oh gosh, we're up to 10 pages of loveliness of all the products on our shows. So do check out the website on that. But the great thing is we've got Angela here today. So when we're going through the demos, any questions about the pattern or tips, she's here. She can answer them for you. You don't have to worry. So you're going to do some demos for us now?
Yes, I am.
Should we start with the front bit? Yes.
I'm just going to sort of hold up this beautiful colour because it's so beautiful. This royal.
So shall we?
We're talking this royal blue, aren't we?
Can I move you just this way and you can show us on the mannequin which bit we're doing?
Well, we're going to start with the front band as you were pointing there. Yes. Sorry, am I in the wrong position?
Not at all, I just love doing that. It just seemed like the perfect opportunity to do jazz hands, sorry.
But this colour is so on trend. These colour blocks, that lovely green, you know, this it's a really saturated colour is really on trend.
But even all three of them work really well.
I know. That blue, and it's so funny. There's lots of overcoats as well in this colour. It's really on trend.
It's brilliant. And this is the royal blue that we've got on our website.
Yeah. So it's such a lovely deep colour.
That's beautiful.
Right.
And the great thing with this is if we wanted to pop a little bit of colour in,
you'd
be able to show us how.
Yes, yeah.
Great.
That's beautiful as well.
And you said this is the easier fabric you need to work with?
I would say, yeah, this linen
Would you need
cotton.
any form of interfacing on this one?
There is a little bit. You could put in the collar and here. I think I put it in this fabric because it's georgette and is a bit flimsy. So, or fly away. I didn't mean to do
We all do that, don't you worry.
So,
I'm not sure the flick is in the pattern though. Might not be.
No, that's just my, you know.
I love it.
Shall I move that over there?
Of course.
Right, so I'm going to start with the back yoke because you can either have it as a pleat or gathered. So,
so just to remind us, do you mind if we turn you around again?
Me? Okay.
Yeah. So this is the gather that we've got over here. And you can see that's a very gradual gather, whereas on the back of the shirt, you can see that it's a very, not severe, but you're doing as just an easier sort of two sections folding in, doing it that way. So what are we doing here? We're doing the same way you've done the shirt?
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh no, yeah, with the pleat, yes, exactly. I've done lots of notches. People that do dressmaking will know that you need to put one notch with one notch, two notches with two notches. It helps you so you know where you're going.
To line everything up.
It's to line everything up, yeah. So I've got notches on the back yoke here, and a notch there, and a notch there. So between this area here, you can either decide to pleat it or gather it. Okay. So I'll just take these out for a minute. So you've got this much fabric, so you can decide what you want to do with it. So with the pleat, what you do is you match up the central notch there. Like that. I have actually ironed it in place, and then if you just carry on there, and then that just flips back, it sort of automatically, because if you've anchored it on those 2 points and you've anchored it there, the fabric has got nowhere else to go but to do a pleat there. So it naturally flows to that point. So that's how it. And I have actually ironed it in place.
Are you measuring to either side of the pin to have them equally the same distance?
This pleat that I've done, you can do any. You can make it narrow in there, and deeper, couldn't you? I've made it 11.5 centimetres.
Perfect.
So so the actual.
Would that be for the 11.5 that you're talking about? Would that be for all the different sizes?
The whole length. Yes, it would be.
So if you're doing a small or a large, whichever, perfect.
Yeah. So if I do that, and then you just pin it to here.
I have to say, I'm loving your wrist pin cushion.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
I'm busy making a quilt for tomorrow's show, and I was lying on the floor last night trying to get all the pins in place, and I desperately was thinking, I need one of those wrist ones, and there you have it.
Well, in my studio, regarding dropping pins, we have one of those big magnets, and
They're brilliant. They really are. Whenever I teach, I've always got a magnet shuffle afterwards, because they drop like confetti, don't they? So where are you stitching on now?
I'm stitching right across there and then incorporating the... I mean, you could hand tack that if you weren't sure about your pins. And the seam allowance is 1.5.
And the great thing is, you're actually using... I think you're the first person other than Debbie to show the 720. This is one of my absolute favourite machines, because I've got the industrial version of this that doesn't have anything but straight stitching. And the stitching on the 720 is incredible. And the difference, I've just picked this up earlier on today, and I can't believe all the different, these are just the alphabets that you get on it. And then if I turn this around, you can see all the different stitches on it. Over 200 stitches, and you'll be able to see this on the website. And we've got a repeat show, which will be directly after our 2-hour show today, with Debbie showing us all the wonderful features, and it is an exclusive to Sewing Street at the moment.
It feels beautiful.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's really smooth.
And it's an amazing price, $1,399? Sorry, 99. So it's just a fantastic price, because I paid pretty much that for a straight stitch machine like this. And it is absolutely
So if you just look, I'm just sewing over that pleat now and anchoring it down. So if there's a few, you know, you can just make it lie flat like that. Important thing is to match that central.
Match the notching.
Keep that, yes, exactly. And then I'm just following the 15mm 5/8 on the machine.
But it is a really beautiful machine, I have to say. We've had it in the studio for a few days before it went live, and every time I walked past it, I had a little stroke of it. It's really beautiful.
Has this one got a name yet?
No, no, I'm not buying any more machines. I'm not allowed. I have 34, so I think I need to stop.
It's a museum.
No, they all get used.
Do they?
They
do you have to rotate? Do some of them get left out? And you think, oh, I must use that one because I haven't used that one for a while, and they might, you know,
I love those vintage machines, the really, really old ones.
Oh yes, those old black Singers with the gold.
I have several of those. I have the white Singer featherweight, which is beautiful as well.
A white one?
I know.
Really?
Don't tell Andrew. The long-suffering husband.
So I've just sewn across that. I mean, you can see it's in a light colour, but that's with the pleat going that way. And what I've done on this one, I've just shown you doing it. So this will be the right side. So you could have the pleat going that way.
Oh, brilliant!
So it's just another way of doing it. You know, either going out ways or going in ways.
That's
but because of this, it makes the garment so lovely and flowy, and it's just not tight.
But it's also interesting, and you're changing the dynamic of it.
Yeah, and you can change it. You can have the gather. So that's that.
It adds the sort of the next level boutique-y feel to it as
well,
doesn't it?
And we all like garments that are comfortable to wear, don't we? Exactly. I mean, yeah. So they've got to be comfortable and not sort of tight-fitting. You mustn't feel restricted in them. Or can I just go back to cutting it out? Because I've got this lovely little diagram here. Look,
well, shall I give you some really fabulous scissors?
Give me the scissors,
to do it?
Yes, please.
I know, feel them though. Feel the weight on those.
Lovely. Yes, I shall be taking these home.
Really good.
I'm not going to cut this little bit out.
You can.
Oh no, I won't. This is my lovely little. So on the pattern, the instructions are for laying out, but I thought I'd just do a little mini version. I don't know if you can get that overhead.
Oh, that's so clever.
Look. So
imagine that this is not miniature. That's not my finger there.
Yes.
And you can imagine
that's
your whole piece of fabric.
So it's cut like that. That will be the selvage. You go over like that, and then these pieces are cut on the fold. So that's the front. That's the back. We've got the little front band here. Can you see that? That's an angle to the selvage. And then you've got a little cuff here that should be parallel there. You've got your, if you want, because this is the dress version, but it's the same with the top. Exactly the same with the top.
And that's great because you've put it in the pattern there.
Yeah, and I thought I'd just do it.
It's identical. It's identical to the way you've done it.
Yeah.
So you can see if
and then we've got the yoke there that's cut on the fold, and then the two collars.
They're brilliant. Because the good thing with this, so this is the little booklet inside your pattern today, but that just gives you the best use of your fabric to make sure you're not wasting any.
Exactly. Oh yes, I'm all for that.
So
very
talking
thrifty.
About fabric sizes, if people were wanting to make, say, the dress, and let's say they were a medium, how much fabric would be looking at?
It's £250 for the dress.
And that's 150 wide?
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh, no, I've put it actually for 115.
Oh, gosh.
So if you get 150, like these fabrics, you get a bit more to play with. Yeah.
So would you recommend still getting the 2.5? Because then that way you'd have left over?
I think so, yes.
I think it's always safer to have a bit extra.
You need it to go along the selvage. You need the length.
The length and the grain and all that.
So even though you might end up with a bit extra here, you need it for because it's got to go down the selvage. Selvage always runs down.
So we do our fabric in ½ meters. So if you were interested in making the same dress that Angela, I called you Alison once, and this is the problem.
All right, James.
So if you are interested in doing this, you'd be buying 5 units of this fabric, and that would be for, is that all sizes?
Yes.
All sizes.
Yes.
And you'll have fabric left over as well. So you
I try to make it as simple as possible because I teach these students and they get stuck on these things.
But the great thing is there's so much information on these pattern instructions. They're great.
Right, I've dropped this again. I did drop it outside.
Where are we going now? What are we doing?
Well, what we're doing is the neckband. So this is the kind of unique thing about it because it is pull over the head. It's got no darts.
Oh gosh.
It's got no set-in sleeves. So it's very, you know, but this is the sort of key part of it, which is the.
So if you were putting a different colour in on this bit,
yes,
this is where you would have put that colour in.
Yes, this is the pattern piece here.
Oops, I think is that so? Is that the underlie of your collar?
Yeah, it's these two bands that will show.
So if you're putting a collar in, what you're doing now, you would then cut it in a different piece.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Right, so the piece shape is that, I don't know if you can see that, like that, there. And then what you do, you put right sides together, and we're just going to sew this really small little bit here, which makes the part of the collar. So let me do that, and then I'll turn it.
Ooh! I'll get that while you sew. Good thing is they've cleaned these tables so fastidiously.
Oh,
they're so
I should
slippy
hope
at the
so,
moment. Exactly.
John.
But they were doing that way before all of that.
Right, I'm going to start there.
I really do love these scissors. Are these the type of scissors you use in your
Yes,
studio?
I've got the big pair of shears like that.
They're really
I use them for all sorts of things, even little miniature cutting.
Really?
Yeah, because once you're used to them, you're very familiar with them, and you just know how far you can go. And
how long have you had your scissors
for years, yes, and I get them sharpened.
Because these now are $16.99, which I think is a really good price, and I always think it's good to get other people's opinions, because I just think sometimes people want honest opinions with no.
Exactly.
I think they're really lovely and weighty.
Well, when
I learned something. I thought that this little bit here was to push it down, but apparently it's a stand.
Well, it is. No, it helps you cut.
It's to help you cut.
It's to keep you flat on the ground. Because if you lift up.
There we go.
It's to keep you flat on the ground. I heard someone said it's to keep.
Standing up?
Yeah.
I tried that and I had this very awkward moment where I was trying to make it stand and I was like, yep, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, so you can keep it flat. So when you
it's one of those fake
you need to cut like this. That's how you should cut.
Ah, right. Okay.
Not sort of cutty.
That's how I cut. That's
you
why
can be
everything
the
I make looks dreadful.
person.
But you're a really, really good pair of scissors if you're interested
in
getting a
pair.
Of course. With greatest of pleasure.
I'm going to cut off there. So
you've just stitched in the front there. Now I see you had that sort of a funny V. I want to call it a V, but it wasn't.
That's a sort of notch, and that's that's to sort of indicate where you're actually going to sew. So, but now we're going to cut down to that notch.
Right.
Like so. So I haven't used these scissors before, but I presume they're beautifully sharp at the end, which they are. So you can get accuracy as well, so you don't have to use different ones. And then also, I'm going to cut, just to get rid of that bulk there, I'm just going to cut up there.
Oh my word, my quilter head just exploded. Because that seam would unravel.
Well, it's got reverse.
As a quilt.
It's got reversing.
Because we don't backstitch in quilting.
Oh, a bit of fluff there.
Oh.
So you turn, so you turn that through, and then you end up with your.
Can I show you a top tip I heard from somebody the other day?
Yes, show me top tip.
Do you see the end of your pin?
Yeah.
It's very good for making things, when you're poking corners out,
yes.
you then get a nice corner there and it doesn't go through. Chopsticks as well.
So that is the neckband there. So that bit is, if you can imagine, it's that bit, isn't it, sticking out there.
Oh, and that's the little notch that goes into your collar at the top.
There. So that's there. So that needs to be really sharp and lovely because you're going to see that bit.
May I show it just on the model here where I'm going? Check I'm right. So that's going there.
Yes, yes it is. Yeah, so you can see that point has got to be really lovely and sharp.
Yes.
That's a lovely colour combo as well, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
It's kind of like a regatta or something, you know.
Sorry, I feel bad just dropping these threads on the floor, but we'll get them later. But it is interesting because you say with that pop of colour, it really does work.
Yes, it does. See how it can be transformed?
It's beautiful. And this is the royal blue linen look 100% cotton, which is all on the website. If anybody wants any fabrics, pop on there.
So you can see how it fits on. So this is the right side. This is the right side. So you can see how it fits on there. So it would go like that. So what I've done is I've overlocked my edges. So
I got to play with an overlocker last week. I was so excited. I kept talking over the poor man. Nope, never seen one. Because I've never made clothing. I might have.
Didn't take long,
did it? We're not talking about it.
No, I did exactly the same. I did a little demo in my classes this week and said, oh, please, please. And I thought, oh, I'll get it out. I haven't got one for everybody because when I get it out, they're all going to rush and go, I want it. So I just get it out for special occasions. Yes, exactly. So I did it. And then the next week, one of my ladies said, I bought one. So I thought, well, I should have been on commission, shouldn't I? Anyway, so that goes on there like that. So the important thing is, so this, imagine this is the right side. it goes like that. So you've got to sew, and I have sewn these, I'll pin it. You've got to sew it like that, so that when it flips back, so I'll show it on this one, like this, that the angle of the collar still continues. Can you see that flipping out there? Where you would flip that back and press that back. Because this is where we're going to put the collar, all this seam here is where we're going to put the collar. So it's important that when you position it, there are dots to match up on the pattern, but just make sure once you've positioned that, you're going to sew down here. That when you flip it back, that is a nice, because you can shove it up and down and it won't be quite
But that's
so...
a great way of then reminding you which way your seams go as well.
Exactly.
Certainly, I think it's really important.
Yeah, there's all double
especially
checks.
beginners, they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly,
with
I
things
like
that.
to do double checks all the way along. And so this comes down here, and then you sew down there, and then you sew down here. So here, you've got a dot and you need to finish sewing there. The important thing is, because of the width of the neckband here, that needs to be wide enough for when it flips back, I'll show you in a minute, flips back and tucks in, that it's not, it doesn't overlap.
Perfect.
So when you've, if I put a pin in there, so my stitching stops there and it stops there. So that's about 3.5 centimetres across there, and that's, I say 3 to 3.5 is enough. So then what you do, let's just take these, is that I'll turn it round, is that you have to cut, I'll lift this up, I imagine these with my scissors, like that, lift that up, and then you've got to cut down here. So imagine I'm cutting down here, right to where my...
Where your dot is.
Yes, where I've done my lock stitch, you know, my reverse stitch as well, down there, and then up the other side as well, so you can see.
And that would then,
there.
because you're obviously folding the seam in when you're pressing it, that would then cover the seam on it
but it's
as well.
like clipping curves, you know, to ease it so it all lies flat. So that's that. So you must just remember not just to cut the garment and not the front band, because you could easily go, oh, I'm just going to cut through there, but you mustn't do that. So what happens is it goes in there and in there like that. If you tuck that in like that.
Oh, wow.
So that's how it goes. So you can see that you really need the width of the bottom
gosh,
bit.
that looks really
the width
simple.
of the bottom.
Yes.
Bottom needs to
The
be.
width of the bit.
So I'm going to turn it.
I'm glad it's not just me today.
I'll put a pin in because when I flip it over, it's all going to unravel. But I'll flip it over and then I'll show you. Right.
And these are all transferable skills to
Exactly.
other patterns as well.
Exactly.
Oh, brilliant.
Exactly. All the skills, you know, it's a gradual build-up with the dressmaking, isn't it?
Of course.
So I'll take that pin out now because I'll show
Well, I
on
think
this
it's a really
side.
nice, simple way of showing how that works. That's excellent.
So that's that. So they're all sitting nicely. That's the flap that you cut down. So what you need to do now is you need to sew across there to sort of seal that edge.
And would you cut that in line with the current...
I probably would overlock that. I would sew it and then I would just
and
finish
then
it. The way you
overlock
sew
the
it is like
nipple down.
this. So I'll sew it and I'll show you. So you lift it up like that because you don't want to sew through to your main garment.
Well, I do a lot of foundation paper piecing, so I know exactly what you're talking about, not wanting to sew through the bits that are really important.
Yes. Oh, what happened there? It flipped up. There we go. And then I'm just doing a straight stitch here.
Doesn't that machine just flow through everything
like
it
feels
butter?
like it could go through
Well, the great
anything.
thing is, as well,
oh, I know, I'm a bit
your foot
late for
down.
doing that.
No, you're
now,
not.
am I?
And
Is
then
it?
you do, I think it's that one. No.
Up, that one.
Sorry.
Are we connected?
I haven't played
No,
with
we're
the
not.
new one.
I'm not used to that. So I've just sewn across there, and then you can actually overlock that and finish it off and cut that off.
You would overlock it though, wouldn't you?
Yes, yeah. And then that's all nice and neat on that side there.
Well, that's very impressive.
So, and then you've got the ready to take the collar. So the next bit is to do the shoulder seams.
Perfect. So if you were looking to do different colours, you would have changed that already.
Yes.
Put that on, and then that would just come through as a different colour from there.
Because it's one piece, you don't have to think about the other side.
Because the great thing is that we were talking about these colourways that we've done here, and I'm going to try and fold this at the same width.
Very vivid.
And it's definitely not going to get it right. But look at the turquoise there. I just think that pops so beautifully.
It looks brighter in real life.
And I'm going to ask them if Kat doesn't mind doing it on that camera as well, because sometimes our overhead doesn't quite let it pop as much. But you can see there, it's because it's the same line of fabric, it's just a beautiful combination. Right,
so now we need to do the shoulder seams so we make this hole that we can get the collar on.
Perfect.
So I would suggest, because it's quite lightweight fabric, we can do a French seam.
It's all Greek to me.
Oh.
Or
Ooh
should
la
I say,
la.
ooh la la. No, the only French I can do is parlez-vous anglais. That's it. That's all I know.
Yes, we, an answer to that.
Okay, this is our lovely exclusive pattern today from Angela. It's come from Thirza. It's on the website at $15.99. It's her pattern, which she's very kindly brought to us today exclusively, which I'm very excited about. And you can see it's very universal. It's very not faceted, but you can do so much with it. Because you can do the different tying at the back, you can do a belt, you can do it as a top or a dress. It's just a really wonderful combo pattern that would do really well in all of your collections.
Well, I'm hoping in the future I will do these different hacks, because it could either be, it could be elasticated at the back, you could extend the sleeve, because it has got a cuff here, but you could
extend
as well,
everybody's got a different body type and they like certain things on different outfits.
But if you've got one pattern and then you can adapt it, the same pattern you've worked out that really does fit you and look good, you can just tweak.
And the great thing with your pattern is if you do want to make it, it's 2.5 meters of fabric, and all of the fabrics here we're sold in half meters, so it's 5 units.
I hope I'm modelling the
You're doing very well. The only thing I was going to just suggest is that if we put the yellow on, because I think this yellow is so vibrant as well. May I?
Fashion. Yes, you may.
I know we're supposed to be social distancing as much as we can, but that is just such a beautiful colour.
But you could have the bands, couldn't you, in that?
Because I was just thinking that way there, and I'm not going to.
It's always very nice to do the same pattern in a different colourway.
Trying to do that at the right distance, and you can see there just that pop of pink with that just works so beautifully. So if people did want to do the accent, would they still need 2.5 meters of this and perhaps half a metre of that?
They would probably need about half a metre.
So half a metre of that and 2 metres
maybe a bit more if they were doing the yoke, because that needs to go on the fold.
Of course.
So yeah, probably half a metre. But people might have stuff in their stash.
But the great thing is we're here for 2 hours today, so we're going to go back and we can then see you using Debbie's book on making different bags. So you might want to buy extra of that fabric to make the bags with
Yes, exactly.
So now what you've done is you've got the back that we've sewn earlier.
Yes, I've got these shoulders here that I need to do. So I need to sew along here. With the French seam, you do it au contraire. That's a bit more French. The opposite that you think is normally when you do a seam, you do right sides together and then turn it round. But with the French seam, you do wrong sides together.
I do know what a French seam is. I use this for bag making.
Do you?
For tote bags.
Yes,
you do it the wrong sides together, then you do the right sides together, and then you do it...
Yes.
I do know that.
Because it's a lovely sealed seam, and there's no fluffy bits and fraying. So I've got a notch here that I need to match up, make sure I'm on the... So you can't, I'm afraid you can't see it on here, but I am doing wrong sides together, and it will jar you doing this, because you're going, oh, this is a bit odd. I always just say...
I remember making the bag that I was just thinking, gosh, this can't be right.
And I'm going to pin it, go that way. So the way I'm going to sew it is...
So on this end, you said that there's a notch that you're lining up to, so I'm going to pop my finger underneath it. And you can see the notch there has come through from the bottom of the top. That's what you were lining up earlier, and then just pinning that these are wrong sides together. So you can see this is the pleat that we did in the back, and this is the front that we did earlier, and we're just putting the wrong sides together. I think we have a question from our Facebook page.
Oh, do we? Lovely.
Hello, June. She's dropped us a message. She said, good morning.
Good morning.
June says she's enjoying the tutorial for the...
thank you.
Enjoying the tutorial for the top. Could we please let you know what the sizes are? So it's small, medium and large. Oh, very good question. What does that mean towards a 12, 16, 18, etc.?
Well, a small, I would say 10 to 12, medium 14 to 16, and large 18 to 20. June.
So June, just the measurements I read out earlier, the bust measurement for a small is 32 to 34, medium is 36 to 38, and large is 40 to 42, while the waist is small 30 to 31, medium 32 to 34, and large 35 to 37. Hope that helps. And isn't it great? You can drop us a message and you can then get the question answered immediately. You need 2.5 meters of fabric for the entire dress, or top, whichever one you're doing, for all different sizes. So you're just ordering 2.5, and that covers everything. It just makes life a little easier.
Oh, that's how I made it. I made it so it's easier. Because when you look at some of these patterns on the back of it, I always say there's just so many. Sometimes it's in English or American, and then it's in French. And then I'm not a yardie person, I'm a metre, so I have to sort of read the French, because that's in the metres. So it's very And I apologise, it is in actually centimetres because I'm a metric person.
That's all right. I think most dressmakers prefer the metric.
Yes, well...
It's just us quilters who wanted an
imperial.
imperial.
Yeah, well, that's true. But if you're a crossover and you do both...
Oh, we've got clever people out there, they figure it out. So now what we've done is we've pinned these wrong sides together.
So the seam allowance is 1.5 centimetres.
Yes.
So what I do is I...
is that when you're doing it wrong sides?
Yeah, wrong sides together. I'm going to sew
Centimetre and a half.
With the side of the foot. So the side of the foot is, I think it's here. So the side of the foot is, when you use the side of the foot on the fabric there, is about 7 millimetres, 8 millimetres.
So you're doing it halfway. So
I'm doing it
inch
half.
and a half is, sorry, a centimetre and a half is finished.
Yes.
Perfect.
And then I trim it, and then I do another side of the foot. Yep. So that's an 8 and an 8, 16 millimetre, you know, between. So that's how I teach it, because it's just easier. I always try and use the machine, the foot and the positioning to... oh! What's happening?
What could possibly go wrong on national television? There we go.
Oh, I don't know why I did that.
I think the bobbin's having a little bit of a sulk.
That's in. Is that in there properly?
Oh, no, it's not. Do you want to take a step back and I can have a little look at that?
Is it at a funny angle?
No,
there?
It's come out of its little slot there.
Oh.
These things happen. It's live telly. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay.
And I've now just got a huge bunch of fabric all over the floor.
Sorry.
Apologies for the lovely cleaners. Oh, June's ordered our pattern. Thank you so much, darling. I'm glad you got that right. Oh, no, we're not liking that at all.
Is it the bobbin?
Oh, I can see what's happened. When we've trimmed that thread, a little thread got caught. And of course, I've got these giant fingers that are just pushing these back further and further.
I've got any... Do you need to get rid of that one?
No, I'm good. Oh!
Oh, sorry.
That's exactly what I need. No. Perfect. What could possibly go wrong there? Right, let's see. And the great thing about this machine, as I've tried earlier, is threading the bobbin is a dream.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
Keeping the bobbin thread going.
I'll have that back.
Yes, please, before I stand on it. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. I think we have a piece of thread stuck in there. And who could possibly kill a machine on live television? We are so sorry. What have we done here? I'm just wondering whether we should go to the 680 or should I give this another quick go?
Does it need re-threading on the top?
Could I borrow that pin again? What it is these random little threads. We all have this problem with our sewing machines. That's why I always give my sewing machines names, so that you can then stroke them back and say, come on, Matilda, you can do it. And I have got a rogue thread there. And I think, Kat, if you wouldn't mind, could I grab that 680? And I'm going to grab that out.
Shall I hold those?
Perfect. Oh, it's much lighter than I thought it would be. And we just need to grab the foot. I don't know if that foot will work.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, that foot doesn't work. So everybody, as you can see, we are fully equipped to cope with any possible eventuality. Great team here. And every single person has had this happen to them before, perhaps not with lots of people watching. And don't judge me for taking the thread out of the top of the machine there. This is So everybody, while we're doing this, have a little check. If you want to check out your baskets, check the website if there's anything that you're looking at that you've perhaps never bought with us before. And I promise you, it is definitely me who has done something to that machine. I was playing with it earlier. It's definitely not with the machine. And the great thing is, because I broke it at work, I'm probably going to be allowed to take it home with me now, aren't I?
Should we put that down?
Pop that down. Oh, I thought I'd never hear that noise again. There we go. Thank you so much for that, Kat. And you've got your pin back. Now, as you were trying to show us
I
before
hope
we...
it wasn't me.
It definitely wasn't you.
I can cut that off, John.
Have you got a little unpicker there?
No, I've got a big pair of
she's
shears.
got this giant pair of shears.
Yes.
They are so massively good, but they're really... I didn't realise... Because I'm always too scared with the shears and cutting smaller things like that.
Well, that is true.
But you can see it definitely works.
Right, let's start again.
So let's just imagine that didn't happen.
Right.
Apparently they'll cut that out in the edit. Nothing wrong with live telly.
Right, here we go. So side of the foot, off we go. So I'll need those shears as well when I cut it. Thank you.
Oh, I love the way your little arm thing goes into the shot like that. It's just so festive. When you watch it back, you'll see what I mean. It's really good. Now, with this one, do you actually then backstitch on it as well?
Well, you don't necessarily... People always ask me, do I have to backstitch? But the thing is, it's going to have a cuff anyway, so that just crosses it.
Anyway.
So you don't have... You see, there's often you don't have to do so many, you know, back stitches. Right, I'm going to cut it here, because if we don't, when we turn it back, then we'll have all these fluffy bits showing. And I don't like fluffy bits.
No.
So you could press it at this point.
So all we've done here is we've put the fabrics wrong side together. We've sewn a 7 millimetre seam along the edge. Definitely not 7 centimetres, because that will change your dress entirely.
Yes, it might be quite up here actually. You might be revealing more of your stomach.
Yes,
that
or you
wish
have no way of getting your arms in.
Right.
And
so
now we put it right side
So you can see
together.
it's the wrong side here because you can see that seam. So you could press it at this point, but you know, you can just roll it like that, put a few pins in.
I like less steps in my processes.
Well, you should really press as you go along.
I know.
You know, as well with dressmaking, as well as quilting, and it does make a difference. But
whenever I'm doing sewing at all, I have this little sort of corridor where I cut to my right, I sew in the middle, and I iron to the...
Is this all
Sorry,
on the
wrong
same
way round.
chair?
Same chair. Rotate.
Oh,
dum, dum.
Brilliant.
Yes.
You've got that sorted,
But I try not to
haven't you?
confess to the fact that I know how to iron or what one is.
Yes, that's good. Keep with that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's lasted so long, so...
Right, in we go.
Perfect. And this is the 680 that we're working on. Also on the website. And I promise you that error was definitely me, because I think what I did was I'd press the needle up and down after I'd pressed the thread cutting button.
I've got my cut. Oh, let me just cut that. Where's my shears? Here underneath it. I've just got the...
These shears are the best things.
Sorry about that. That's me being a bit lazy.
Trust me, you didn't kill a machine on it.
Got a lovely
You're
little thing here that you
It's
butt
gorgeous,
up.
that little guide, isn't it?
Is it a guide?
That's
Yes.
a 1/4 inch foot for quilters.
Oh, well, I'm using it. So I might be making my seam a little bit bigger than is necessary, but you get the idea. But I do try and put French seams in as much as I can, because, you know, as long as the fabric's not too bulky, because it's just such a neat, you know, that's so that's going to be your inside.
From here, you can see that first of all we had this wrong sides together, and now we're sewing these right sides together, and it's created this sort of pocket, which I'm sure many of you have done French seams before, but for those of you who haven't, you've got sort of a pocket there, which I think is really, and that obviously just strengthens your seam a little better.
Exactly, because you've sewn it twice, haven't you? Yeah, so it's good. So I won't do the other side, but I can...
That's all right. So shall we see the other side and see what that looks like now? Oh, that looks really neat.
Yeah, so that's your back yoke there. That's your... so there. So it looks lovely. So it's important to have matching thread as well.
Yes,
but
it is.
so you
well, it doesn't.
so
Navy doesn't work very well on camera.
No. So you need to sew, trim, sew. That's
sew,
what
trim,
I say with
sew.
a French seam.
And press.
Yes.
And press.
So the collar now.
Perfect. So we've only got about 8 minutes left. I don't want to rush you, but doesn't this time fly?
Oh. Hang on, let me get my collar. Right. So we've got the collar here.
So if you were doing 2 different fabrics at this point, which one would you be doing? Does it matter? Are they the same?
It doesn't matter at this point when you sew it, and then it's just when you position it on.
Of course, of
course. Yeah. So you've got 2 like that. So you put right sides together.
Just going to move you a little bit in.
And I've just pressed... Oh, sorry.
There we go.
I've just pressed that over, and then I've done the same on the other side there. You can see there's the notch here, and that will be what we match to the centre back of your garment. So we're just going to sew there, pivot, do a nice sharp pivot. There's a dot on the pattern, so you know when to pivot. And then along there and then down there.
So we do have a needle down position in this machine as well. So if you're going to be doing your pivot, that's very easily done.
Or just, you know, manually do it old school, you know.
Well, if the gadget's there, I'm a gadget boy. I love gadgets on sewing machines and things. So for me, I love it when they're there.
Yes.
So the fabric we're using today, this is the 100% linen look, 100% cotton royal blue. It's just very, very pretty. And these are sold in 1/2 meters. That's $5.99 for a 1/2 meter. In order to make this dress, you'd need 2.5 meters of this, which would you would then just select 5 units, and it would come as a 2.5 meter piece. I was about to say 2.5 inch piece. That would definitely not be right. But it's a lovely feel, this fabric, because the more I play with this and you're working with it, it's a lovely feel.
So it hasn't got the creasing that linen has.
Which is great, because that's the cotton on it.
Because I've, you know, had it all squashed in my suitcase, and it hasn't, you know, all creased to...
So now all you're doing there is you're sewing the right-hand triangular bit.
Yeah, and I'm going to go there. I might manually just get myself right on that dot.
Perfect.
Something like that.
There you go, I think you're there.
Not
and then
quite
all you've done is you've
up,
got the needle down, rotated the fabric, and then you straight down that line.
Just doing lots of pivoting.
Ooh, you did pretty good on that pivot.
Oh, I've had a little bit of practice.
But on a new machine and standing up, you wouldn't normally
well, that's true. And I've got a bit of a heel on today, because I thought, well, I might disappear behind the table. Yes. Because some machines have like a perspex.
Oh, I think we've just probably got the wrong foot on.
Yes,
for you,
I think you've probably got an embroidery foot that might have. Could probably do one more stitch.
Do.
So when you turn it, when you put your needle in and then you turn it,
you'll be able to see exactly.
Then you know you're on the right tracks, because then that's you see. So coming down.
Professional, this one.
Yes.
Well,
I do try.
I'm loving this pattern.
And I'm going to come down here, and then I'm going to stop before where those bits that I've ironed. Reverses there. Can't see reverse because it's standing. Well, that.
And that one.
Off we go. Off we go.
The pattern today is exclusive with Sewing Street from Thirza. Makes the dress and the top. It's the Thirza sewing pattern for dress and top by the Sewing Club. And you can see all the different options here that you've got your back pleat, you've got the gathering. I think the gathering's that one there. You can see it's as a top or as a dress. I think that's the dress with the belt, and then that's the dress with the clasps at the back. They're just completely different ideas and ways to do it.
I've done lots of different fabrics because it just looks different.
Exactly.
Depending on what.
But it's also different patterns within one pattern, which I think most people would love.
So I've done that, and I've clipped the corners. You can reinforce that if you're, go over it again, and then you just.
So if you were using any interfacing, you would have put that on before you sewed.
Yes, I would have put it on the under
on the
collar.
under one.
Yeah, the under
before
one.
you sewed. Perfect.
Yes, like iron-on interfacing. So at this point, you might need a little,
Chopstick.
Chopstick, yes, or knitting needle. We'll get your little finger in there. But I'll show you how it goes on the garment.
Perfect. So we've got a couple of minutes left, just to give you a heads up.
Yes, well, this is a key part of it. I know this isn't sewn there. Perhaps we'll start on this side because this one's sewn. So what you do is you want to sew just that side on the. So you've got this bit here sticking out there. Let's just do that.
That's better, yes.
That's better. Can you see that? And you stick that, or lay it gently down there. I'm going to put a pin in. I want to pin that as well.
Cool.
So that's there, and then you just carry on round.
Matching
I would
those
make
up all the way around.
Seams go to the back. You always make your seams go to the back or down, your seams. So it's got to be flush, because that's kind of a key point. It's this point here.
It's the matching of your points everywhere.
Yes, it's that key point there.
And you can see that here as well.
Yeah. So I'll just pin it a little bit more going round. And then you've got a notch to match it at the back for the centre. So you would sew, and that would go all the way around there. But I'll just show you on this side. And obviously, we would have pressed it. So you fling that out the way. You're not going to sew that. You're just going to sew all the way around to that side there, and then you press it upways like that. So you're going to press it upways, and then that automatically goes down and then seals all that beautiful edge. Yes.
Perfect.
So you can either stitch on the underside and then catch it in, or if you feel more in control, if you want to slip stitch it by hand.
You go on it.
Yes, so you can do either or.
That has been brilliant. I'm so grateful for your time
you're very
on this.
welcome.
Thank you so much. But don't go away. We've got you back in another few seconds with bag making. I'm so excited about this because I've never made proper bags and they're really, really fun. So we're going to recap now how we shop on all of this. We've got the website of sewingstreet.com. We've got our UK-based call centre, 0800 001 4433. If you want to stay in touch with us on social media, we've got Facebook, Sewing Street TV, and Sewing Street Fans, and obviously we're on YouTube as well. Pop on there and get Sewing Street and click subscribe and you'll be able to get there. We've got our, just to recap what we've had in the show this hour, we've had this amazing pattern, which you've seen is so universal, the Thirza sewing pattern for dress and top by the Sewing Club in all the different sizes. We've got these fabulous fabrics, which you've seen with Angela. I was about to call her Alison again because I did it once and now I'm always going to get it wrong. With Angela's dress was in this beautiful fabric which we've got on. This is the polyester one, which I think is $4.99 for half a metre. Yes, it is. That's the coral. And then this one I think is called the ochre. And this is the Georgette Prince, I think it was called. Georgette Prince. Georgette Florals. And this one is really fun as well. It's just very, very springy and festive. These ones, if you're a little bit more advanced, because they were just saying that the fabric's a little bit more slippy to work with, but as you get more confident, because the fabric's so lovely, you might want to buy it when you feel a bit more confident. You've done a few, perhaps in this fabric, and you feel a bit more confident about that, then you use that one. This is the royal blue, which is what our sample was made out of. 100% cotton, but it's a linen look, so you don't end up with that creasing factor of it. This is $5.99 for half a metre. We've got then the emerald as well, which is also really lovely, because I'm going to show all three of them together because I think they're just such a beautiful colourway. We've got the emerald in the middle, and then we've got the turquoise on the end. It's just such a lovely fabric. And because it's cotton, it's not shedding, it's not creases up as much as linen does, and it feels beautiful. And this is the turquoise on the own. Of course, this is my favourite because I love everything turquoisey. And then the dressmaking shears, which you can see have been used for everything, including saving our sewing machine, is available for $16.99 from Millwood. And they're a really lovely size, very, very weighty and lovely to work with. Loads of people have been checking out today. Thank you so much for that. And I just think this is what a lovely pattern. And so many different things to do with it. And I'm really, really pleased. Don't forget to check out your patterns in your baskets, etc. One-day P&P. And if you're not keen on using the website, don't worry. We've got the UK-based call centre, 0800 001 4433. I'm going to know that number out of my head if it kills me. And we've got the one-day P&P of $3.95. So if you order something on the website and then decide to go through the call centre, that's absolutely fine. You'll be able to just pay the one P&P. What a wonderful demo. I was really pleased with that. And the great thing is, if you want different colours, you've got all the different options that you can do with the different colours. And oh, I just think it's really lovely with this pleat, and then we've got the interesting way that the pleat went here, just doing it ever so differently, folding it to the inside. There we go, my very subtle way of flicking things along. What a lovely thing, and I'm really looking forward to the next hour. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a few minutes. We may not have sound on the slide, but we're still here. See you in a bit. Thank you for your time. Welcome back to the Sewing Street. I'm John Cole Morgan. It's lovely to have you. And we've got another lovely hour with Angela Pressley. And I've called her Alison once by mistake, so apologies if I call her Alison again. It's because I've got that problem with that. We're doing this amazing book by Debbie Shaw, whole hour of her bags. And anybody who doesn't love Debbie, hasn't seen Debbie Shaw's books, where have you been hiding, firstly? And secondly, they are amazing. I am a huge Debbie Shaw fan for her books. And we're going to be making this fantastic bag with the most wonderful patterns and panels. And I'm not quite sure. One of my ladies is an enormous Debbie Shaw fan, and she said, "Oh, you're doing the bag. Just make sure you bring it home with you." So, and Debbie's dropped a few samples off as well. Look at these beautiful, these bags. And the fabrics you can use are just so beautiful. That is just lovely. So that's the book, which is on the screen, $11.99. And then we've got these fantastic panels. We're going to start with the dark blue first, because we've got two colourways. So this is actually a full bundle. So you've got a panel, you've got some PU, and you've got the amazing clasp. Of course, so this bag is what we're talking about with the navy one. It's just so pretty. And then on the inside, it's just got this gorgeous panel. You've got lots of panel left over as well, and then you've got this lovely zip inside as well. So the zip is not included, but this is a great time to go through your little zip stash, because I don't even make bags and I've got a zip stash. So you can find that perfect bag zip that works for you and pop it on. Otherwise, just go and splurge and get yourself some few more zips, because this is a really fantastic panel. Oh my gosh, it just doesn't stop. Look at this. So this is 4 fat quarters as a panel. Who doesn't love a fat quarter panel bundle? So those are the first two. And then I'm going to open this up so you can see all 4 of them. It's enormous. So as you can see, you'll definitely have some left over, and you're spoilt for choice as to which one you'd like to use. And then these, you're going to be looking to use one of those for your bag. I'm trying to be neater with my fabric folding. But I think all of these work really well. And then you've got 1/2 metre of PU. Do you know how wide the PU is? I think it's 150. Don't hold it. I will double check now by measuring it. But it's got a lovely feel to it. And this is now for the navy bag kit. So not only do you get this bag, this PU, you also get the fat quarter fabric panel kit. Go on, say that 3 times quickly. And you get that amazing magnetic snap with it, and that's for $19.99. And the great thing is, I have a wonderful millwood cutting board in front of me, and I'm going to measure that now. And this is, it's 71 centimetres in half, so this is 140 wide. So 140 wide by 1/2 metre. And you get this wonderful, all 4 fat quarters, and the PU, and you're getting this wonderful clasp. Now, I don't know anything about these clasps, but I'm using it on this one. They're very strong because, sorry, I'm trying not to knock over our lovely hand that holds that up, but I'm trying not to break the fabric with it, because this is such a strong clasp. But you want that, because when you're using a bag and you're out and about, you want to make sure that it's all nice and secure. So you can see I'm not putting too much pressure on it, but that's a lovely clasp on it. And you can see these are the fat quarters that we've got available. So that's the one that we've used with the navy bag. But equally, that would look beautiful as well with the navy. You can see all of these work really well with the navy. And the great thing is you've got lots left over, because you're not going to use a full fat quarter of the mustard. You could use these for other bags as well. Now I'm going to strategically try and get these on the fingers without knocking anything over. And the great thing is you can use your own little buttons and decorative bits on the outside. And the lovely Angela is going to be showing us how to make this. So that's the navy, but we've also got this gorgeous, so it's the same panel that I've just shown you. Same panel, exactly the same fat quarters as we've got in the other one. Sorry, I'm throwing this against my microphone there. Apologies, everyone. And these are exclusive to Sewing Street, these panels. And this little bundle is with the ochre, mustard ochre. They're all the same. And again, this is 140 centimetres wide by 50. And just look at that. And the great thing is, if you've never worked with PU, we can have some lovely tips from the lovely Angela to go through and get them and show you the best ways of doing it. And this comes as well on for the ochre one. This also again comes with your wonderful little magnetic clasp on it. And yes, so that's where we are here. So again, some of you have been messaging in on our Facebook page. Thank you for that. If you'd like to send us a message today, you're most welcome to do so on facebook.com/sewingstreettv. And we are managing both pages, so if you do the fans page as well, we'll be able to give you all of that. And welcome back, Angela.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely to have you.
It's bags now. We'll get used to that.
I want to hug everybody, but you just can't.
Right, this lovely book.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
Yes, it's got so many things in.
Have you enjoyed working with it?
Yes, the key thing is with this book, it's got templates. It's got these plastic templates. So you open them up, and here they are. So you get 2 templates like this. There we go. And all these 2 templates make all of those bags that are in that book.
What?
They have all the patterns in. They're labelled.
That can't be right.
I'm not missing
clever,
one.
That girl.
Yes.
She knows what her stuff.
They're lovely plastic here, and also, you know, you can face them down that way. You can still see through them, and you can still see your fabric.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So the book is very good. It's got all the.
I love that one with the little tassels.
Oh, I know. We've got that one
over just
yes.
here. I'm just going to go and stroke the tassels.
Yeah, I thought that was actually made, the tassels, but I think you can buy that. But you could cut your own with the PU.
I love that.
Because the PU doesn't fray, you can cut it up and make your own, couldn't you, with the tassels? Maybe not as slim as that, but you could do. Because I thought
that would be a day when
should I put tassels on mine? I thought, oh, well, let's just go.
See, that would be a day where I've been fighting with my long arm, and you've just got to do something really constructive for a little while.
Yes, and it's very satisfying.
It is.
Cutting through that PU.
It's very with those gorgeous shears. It's gorgeous.
So, shall I show you? Do you want to show the?
Please go ahead.
Well, the pattern here. We've got
you're
all
in the overhead now. So there you go.
Okay, so
absolutely perfect.
So, so you put it down and you just pen through where the dots and the dashes
onto the fabrics.
Yes, onto the fabric. So.
That seems really easy
to use. It's all labelled as well. You've got round.
May I just pop that on here and just show? So if you were doing it, it's just as simple.
Yes, well, I've got an example of it.
Just as simple as just drawing. So if you were doing the clutch bag, you would just follow that line along there, and you've got the bag already cut out and marked up.
Right, I'll show you.
Here's one she prepared earlier.
So,
and today we're doing
I've
the
cut
ochre.
out that bit.
Are we doing the ochre kit today?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So what is the name of the bag we're doing?
Well, I don't know. I know it's on page 52. Let's have a look. Scalloped flap clutch.
Wonderful. So
and
this
I've
is
noted that
we've got the actual sample here.
So I hope it lives up to expectations. I hope I've done it.
It does.
Because Debbie said I could make any bag, and it just so happens that I've made the bag that she brought in as a sample. Oh, what's in there?
What happens when you open a bag that's coming to the studio with a piece of fabric left in the bottom of it?
Was that for us now, that
No, fabric? I think Debbie, we love Debbie, we wouldn't want to do that. But Debbie, I've seen it, I know where it is.
Right, where's the other? Oh yeah, here it is.
But the great thing with these fabrics, you can put a really fabulous lining in.
Exactly.
I don't use bags very often, but when I do, I'm always losing things at the bottom of them. So I prefer to have a lighter lining so you can see everything.
Oh, exactly, yes, yeah. That's very true. You're going to stay? Heel.
You will stay. Thank you, thank you.
So we've got here, so it's all marked here. So I'm doing the curved, or the scalloped flap, it says there. So I've, or the clutch bag, so it's actually written there. So I've gone up there. That's a little dart up there, and then round there, and then I just go across there, and then there it is like that. And then
so these are two different bags that you've used?
They're actually all on here, actually.
The bag we're making today,
yes,
is that this one?
That's the main part of it.
Oh, gosh, okay.
And then that's the flap. So the flap's there, following that. So there. You just have to zoom, sort of home in on it, and then they're going across there. So we've got the main part of the bag, and then the flap, and then obviously that's cut on the fold. Have we got the big shears here?
We do.
I've got
one I prepared earlier. What have I done with them? If you got...
Yes.
You know what? We tidied up so quickly there. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are.
Oh, we don't want to, you know.
See, I'm very good at this tidying thing.
Oh,
I tidy things all the time away and never find them
so
ever
I'll just
again.
cut this out, and then I can... It's a bit boring watching me cut it,
not.
but I mean, it's just so
therapeutic
versatile.
watching people cut things.
Yeah. Yeah, so that thing there is just to keep it flat on the... And obviously you've got lots of this fabric left, haven't you? Lots of these fat quarters to do lots of things.
So how much of the fat quarter did you use?
Just under one, really.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So this is your scalloped flat bit.
And these are just folded on the placed on the fold.
Yes.
And then the fat quarter, you've got some. Is that some? Have you put any interfacing on the back of that? Nope, that's just the fat quarter.
No, it's lovely quality cotton. So there we
So
are.
is that like a little dart?
Yes, it's a dart.
Perfect.
Yep. So I'll cut that. So you actually
Look,
cut
I'm learning things
you
as I
actually
go.
cut the dart and then sew it. So sometimes it's on dressmaking. You don't actually cut the dart. You just do the V.
So that's just like a giant notch.
Exactly. But we're going to make it into a dart. So that's open up there. So you've got.
Do you think I sounded like I knew what I was talking about?
Yes.
Then? I'm trying very hard. Blag it until you fake
It's
it
a
till you
very,
make
very
it.
big notch. If my notches were that big, I think I might be making for a giant. So that, and then that's your little flap there.
Brilliant.
And then there's all instructions there.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Are we going to be able to pop one of these on?
Well, we'll see how we get on.
Perfect.
Yes. So the other parts, so I'll show you the other parts of the equation.
So all
So
of
we
these templates are included in the book to be able to include. And the great thing is they're all plastic and they're really sturdy plastic as well.
Exactly.
Because I'm a bit heavy-handed with
And
things.
they're transparent.
They're fantastic.
You should put them on fussy cuts.
Well, you can see there, if you do that,
Exactly. So for the clutch...
you can see all the way through there. You can see how
Sorry.
transparent they are there.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So for the clutch, it's all on, the flap and the main one's on there. And then for the strap, it's this long one. So you've got two widths of strap. You can either have that strap or that strap. But,
oh, brilliant.
So the straps are here.
You won't believe who's watching us. Hello, Debbie Shaw!
Hello, Debbie!
It's your book on the telly!
I hope I'm doing okay, Debbie.
Apparently, it's very rude to go through a lady's handbag.
Oh!
But Debbie, there's so much lovely fabric on there.
Is there any money?
Who cares about the money? There's fabric in here. Hello, Debbie. Happy Mother's Day, darling. Hope you're having a good day.
Right, so back to the PU.
Yes.
So the straps
So
are
I've
there.
never used PU.
Right.
Would you use a walking foot? How would you sew
Well,
this?
if it's, let's say I've got two here, I've got samples, so there's not two straps, there's just one strap. So if it's PU on the bottom, PU on the top, I would say walking foot, because it really does get stuck if you've got that onto your throat plate, it would get stuck. But that's the strap. And going round the like the top stitching here is the only time really when you are actually sewing onto the PU. The rest of it is the seams inside.
Fine.
Yes, so I would only say to get a lovely strap like that, which you would top stitch.
Because the walking foot makes the consistency, it keeps everything neat.
Exactly.
And
it just feeds it through, it jumps through and it feeds it through. It will get stuck otherwise. When there are other feet, there's like a roller foot and a teffel foot, and they are, like the teffel one is like for non-stick, so there are different other feet. But I would say to get a good finish, you'd do that. But the rest of the time, I think you could just manage with a normal foot. So the strap, as I said, it's just cut out on there, and then you'd say here, cut on the fold. So, I mean, you can't really fold PU, but I squashed it under some books. So you can see it sort of wants to go there. So
I hope it was all of Debbie Shaw's books.
Well, it was.
She's written many, in case you didn't know.
It's a big pile of Debbie Shaw books.
No, I've got a friend who is going through, she knows that Debbie's with Sewing Street now.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, you know I'm her biggest fan. And I was like, Sylvia, I'm sure you can come with one day and meet Debbie. She's like, I couldn't possibly, I'd get all shy.
I'd like to meet Debbie too.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes.
She's lovely. Well, you know, on Mondays, the first Monday of every month, she does a sewing
true.
I don't know
Surgery?
Sewing surgery. I was about to call it Sewing Street, but it's not. Sewing
consultation.
But
Yes.
she's fantastic. She's so talented.
Yeah.
One day when I'm a grown-up, I hope to have that much talent.
Oh, right. Okay.
Many years from now.
So you just fold that, and then you sew it. You can see here, I've top stitched and top stitched. But the thing is, also with PU, is even, you know, you can't pin it because the pin thing, and even the clips will make, you know, those strong mini clips.
Yes.
Yeah, so
we sell those wonder clips. I use them all the time.
Yes.
Did I just stab you with one of these
no,
pins? I'm so sorry.
Almost. God. But you could. I got away with it. I put a few, maybe about 3 along there, right where I'm going to sew. So where I'm going to sew.
So the teeth actually mark the sew line.
Yeah, and then I did squash that over under some books, so it would go where it wants to go. So that's the only thing I would say with the walking foot. Yes. Stand. So right, we've got the pieces here. So the main. Let's just go.
Oh, just go there are lots of pieces. So what have you got there?
Well, we've just got an outer bag with 2 sides and a flap, and then the same with the lining. So 6 pieces, and then a strap, 7.
Brilliant.
So
what you've cut out here is this
I'll just unpin all of this.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my little zip.
So it's the other side of that you've put.
Yeah, so we've got 2 linings here. And this is up to you. All the instructions are in here to add it, to put a zip in, to, you know, customise it yourself. So
this one, I suppose, if you wanted to use all of the fat quarters in the bundle, you could use this on one side and that on the other. Or the other way around, because there's so many different... Having 4 different fabrics in this bundle.
I know, and they all match so well, don't they?
They coordinate really, really well.
Yes. So if I just get my bag, then I can show you that the zip. Oh, I've got some tissue paper in mine. Oops.
She knows if there's fabric, I'm going to start looking at it.
No, it's not perfect. So I've got a zip in there, a little small zip. So if you can see it there, like there, look, there we go. So that can zip open. And the actual zip is actually there. Look, the little letterbox there. So she's done that as well. So that's perfect. So that is actually the width of the. So you can do the letterbox zip there.
So if you don't want a zip, do you just cut 2 of those?
You could do a little patch pocket, couldn't you? You might
but even if you didn't want a pocket, you just do 2 of those.
Yes, exactly. Fine. I'm going to just show you through with the letterbox zip. So what it is I'll just post it back through. It's called I call it letterbox, and I think Debbie does as well, because you just do a lot of posting. You sew it and then you post it. So. There we go.
And these templates are all on these templates here?
Yes, exactly. And the instructions are all at the front, all the different customisation and the bespoke, all the piping, say how you do the straps, how you do the letterbox zip.
Oh, that's what we're about to do now.
Yes, exactly. And piping, if you want to put piping in the seam, sandwich that into the seam, that adds another dimension. Perfect. You could put it in the flap as well.
Brilliant.
So with a letterbox zip, what you do is you put right sides together like that, and then you use your template to draw your rectangle.
And then you just... may I?
Yes.
So that's just that there?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then you sew all the way around, and then you cut down, I don't think you probably can see this, but you cut down the centre, and then you cut down to each of the corners there.
How far away would you get to that point?
As near as you can.
Right.
So you
might looks like a 1/4 of an inch to me.
Well,
I know you don't like imperial.
Well, I don't know what it is, John.
That's okay.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think anybody's going to mind.
We're from 2 different worlds, aren't we, John?
But all of these details on how to do this is in Debbie's book, and it's the occasions bag. I can't remember, are there 15 different projects and bags in this?
With 2 templates.
For 2 templates, which make all 15 for $11.99. I think we worked that out to 87p a bag for a pattern. You can't go wrong with that.
And you can just mix and match and make them your own. Make them unique. Okay, so anyway, so you cut down there, cut this Y here, and then you're going to post through like that and give it a good old press, and then you end up with this beautiful letterbox here.
Oh, lovely.
So that's the right side. So what you would do is you would get your zip. And you could stick that with tape.
I've only put a zip in once.
Well, this is
never been. Oh, is that invisible? No, it's not. That's upside down.
This is kind of
I thought that was an invisible zip, but it's upside down.
It's not an invisible zip, but we're trying to make it almost. So you've got to get that little pull there. So.
Because that's the only thing I know when you put a zip in. Put a pin at the beginning and a pin at the end.
Yes. Otherwise your little
zippy Watson thing is going to come off, and you'll never get it back on. No.
There is an art to do that with a
I've seen all different things with a fork. That's exactly what I was going to say.
But life's too short for fiddling about with a fork in your sewing room, isn't it?
Exactly.
So that goes like that, and then you sew round there.
Now, would you need a walking foot or anything?
I don't think so. And I don't. You could have a zipper foot just to get really near. A zipper foot allows you to get really near, but I think you could manage to sew around it without.
Do we know how big the zip is?
Oh, I'm not sure. You can measure it.
So that's 15 centimetres is the hole. So what would you say, a 15 centimetre zip, or would you do a slightly smaller?
Yeah. Because with a 15 centimetre zip, they usually have a
bit on either side.
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah, 15 centimetres will easily cover that.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for a zip,
zips.
of course, you get them on the rolls, and they're really clever.
Even the nylon ones, I just sew over the end and then cut them off. You can sew over the nylon ones.
I go to Hong Kong quite a lot, and there's a beautiful fabric district out there, and they had these incredible zips. And I bought this amazing zip, and the tines are bigger than my fingers, but they've got diamante on it.
Really?
And I've always wanted to make
I
want a giant duffel bag to be able to just carry around with me. I think that would be lovely. But again, I buy the zips.
Won't we?
Well, I'm sure Debbie's got one.
Yeah, Debbie will have one.
I just need to buy all of her books. It's fine.
So you've got the zip, and then that's inspiring you to do the bag.
Now to find rhinestone bag fabric. Something really subtle.
Rhinestone cowboy comes to mind. But that's a whole different thing.
Exactly.
So that's there, and you sew around there, and then to make the pocket, you have that.
Oh, and then you just go all the way around that?
So that would be sewn anyway into the seam.
So you would just sew the three edges?
Yes, you see, not sewing that.
Yes,
and then, so when you open it, you've got your...
it's enclosed as a pocket.
Yes,
How clever.
So that's done many times on lots of bags. That's kind of a skill to learn, to put in lots of bags if they don't have them. Okay.
But I do love this because the book Debbie's written is just so cleverly done. I'm just going to hold this above you if you don't mind. You can see all these different pictures on how to do it all. And every single page has got different pictures on how to do it. Because myself, I'm a very visual learner. I need lots and lots of pictures because I may read the wording, but being a complete beginner with things like this, having the picture just makes me feel a lot more confident that I'm able to do it.
And they're very, very clear photographs, aren't they?
They're beautiful. She's very good. And she's got Uber fans all over. Look at that one.
You can't have too many bags.
Nope.
Because you need one for every outfit, don't you?
I'm not quite sure I can pull it off quite as well as you can, but we'll give it a go. And the great thing is the price of the book is so cheap, $11.99 for 15 different projects. You can easily afford to be able to buy the book and then make all these different bags for each outfit.
Zipped pouch.
Exactly.
So not necessarily a handbag, but something that you can put in your main handbag.
Because even with your dress, we could do the coordinating ochre in that fabric that we had on the previous show, doing a bag in that.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Well, it's my top tip for the day.
So this bag, the clutch, has got this, to give it a bit of depth, otherwise it would just be completely flat. It's got these little darts here.
Is that what those triangles were there?
Yes, and the art is to match those, because that would be really awful if they weren't walking in there. I hope I'm showing the right one there. But anyway, so that's really important. So the darts...
what you've just shown us here is the navy bundle, where you're getting ½ a metre of the PU, and you're getting those four fat quarters in the panel, and you're getting the magnetic clasp to put everything together, and that will then be able to make this, but you don't have the zip and the little button on the outside. You're going to just have to raid your stash for those
I raided my stash.
It's brilliant.
For that lovely, look at that button, how well it goes.
It's really good.
So there's all ideas in here also for rosettes and different motifs to go on your...
What happened to our hand?
Oh, I don't know.
That's all right. That's okay, so I'm going to pop this over here if that's okay.
That's it. So the dart is a little triangle like that, and then you just go like that. So it's open like that, close it like that, and then you're just going to sew. I'm going to say about that far away, and then off. So I'll do that, and then I'll show you.
That's a little less than £1/4 of an inch.
Yeah, you can do that, John.
I can spot £1/4 of an inch from across the room.
Yes. Ooh, trying to get it under.
Well, I'm going to pop your templates back in these books, in your book.
Right.
And the great thing with this book is there's this wonderful little plastic wallet to store your plastic templates. So, because if, like me, you're always putting things in very safe places. And the book comes out the folder as well.
So once you've sewn that... Yes, and also, I love this elastic.
I know.
Look. So we're on to page 52. Let's put ourselves...
I can't imagine why you know it's page 52.
I don't know. And then look, see, that's excellent for marking, isn't it? That's really
it's
good.
all those
Because you know you're
attention
trying
to
to remember
details.
these numbers, aren't you?
It really is, and that's what Debbie's famous for, is that attention to detail.
Yes, exactly.
It's brilliant.
So I've sewn the little dart along there.
So this is on your lining.
Yes, I'm doing one with lining. I've just gone off, and I haven't used that cutter, because what I really want to do is like a little knot there. So there's different ways of finishing off a dart. Some people go back on themselves.
Look at these new tips you're giving us here.
Well, there's all different ways. You can go back on yourself
But I think
and
it's
reverse.
important. Everybody's got different tips that people don't always know what they are. I think it's really good to hear everybody's
and to
ideas.
hear, and then
it may not work for you, but it's good to know that they're there.
Exactly. And so I'll do a double knot there. This is all in the book anyway. So a double knot like that, and then I would cut a little bit off, but I mean it doesn't really matter.
I love the fact you use those shears for absolutely everything.
They're
brilliant. They're brilliant.
But they're so sharp.
They are.
So that's that, and then you have that beautiful there. So you could use like a ham, you know, like dressmaker's ham, when you iron on it, so you could get that nice and...
Yes, I know exactly what you have. Yes. As you were saying that, I was like, do I? Yes, I do.
Yeah, to get that nice and sharp
Pointy
there.
bit.
Yep. I'll just do the other one. Yeah, so I don't do reverse, just go right off. And majority of dress patterns are like that as well, to do that knot, because it's really important when you have darts on the bust area that they lie flat and you use that. But I don't need to tie that. But you get the idea, and that gives it the shape, you see.
Oh, right. And that's the inside of this?
Yes, yeah, and it's the outside as well.
Oh, of course it is.
Yes, so I've just pinned that, but if I'd like to put those
Here's
two
one you
together.
did earlier.
Yes. So are you showing, are they all nice and...
Of course they are.
Yes.
Don't doubt yourself.
So I'm not sure whether I would do the other darts at the moment, but what I can show you is on the main fabric, look on this. So I've done my darts. Oh, we need to talk about fleece.
Fusible
fleece.
Fleece.
This gives it the lovely,
the bounce
soft
of it.
and nice shape. If it didn't have that, it would be a bit floppy and...
So this is a fusible fleece called
H640.
H640.
Yes.
So we have got this on order. Just unfortunately, things have been a bit hectic of late. They haven't arrived for studio today. They were expecting them back in stock tomorrow, so they'll be available on the website. Just keep checking the website. They'll pop back on. We're going to show you this tomorrow as well, because I'm on with you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, just that we can show you. As soon as it comes into the studio, we can show you. But it is just such a lovely product. We just, unfortunately, deliveries have been a bit delayed. So they are coming in. Check the website tomorrow, and you'll be able to get them then.
So for bag making,
it's
essential.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So sometimes you do interfacing and fleece.
It just gives it that nice little pop. You can just gives it a nice little, and you can't obviously feel it, but it just feels so soft.
So you can't iron PU. You could try and give it a sort of cool iron on the other side. You can't iron on the right side. So to get the fusible fleece on there, you need to iron on the fleece side. So if you've got you know, an ironing cloth, you need to push the heat down through that.
What about greaseproof paper or freezer paper or something
anything like that? Yes, but you can't. You know, normally I would just I wouldn't have any iron anywhere near that really, and I would do it from that cotton side and blast it through. But so you just need a pressing cloth, and you just there, so you just make sure it all sticks in there. So, but you've got to put the fleece on before you do the darts, because otherwise it'd be floating about. So, and then you do the darts there, and then it's on there and on there. Okay, so I'll just put that aside for a minute, and I'll show you the. Now look, do you like my love hearts?
I love your little hearts. So this one you wouldn't have used your walking foot because you've got the wadding on the back to do that with.
Yes, exactly.
Because that would give its grip when you're going through the
machine. And that love heart is on the templates.
It's so cute.
So I thought, oh, I'll put that on there.
Well, it's right there.
Yes. Exactly. You could do that a reverse applique as well. You could do that as a whole, the love heart, and then have some fancy
fabric underneath.
Well, you could do that, and then
the
floral could be this floral of the fat quarter could be showing underneath.
Or you could do the contrast like you've done with the lining.
You could also do the strap with that floral.
Of course, one side with the floral, one side with PU. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, lots of mix and match.
But the great thing with this bundle, and it's such a good price, £20 for the whole 4 fat quarters and the ½ metre PU and the magnetic snap. It's such a good price that you don't mind mixing and matching and playing with it.
And don't be scared about using this PU. It's not. It's such lovely
a lot
stuff.
Of people
it's very satisfying.
How much
sewing
PU
with it.
did you use for that bag? Because it doesn't seem like that's going to be ½ metre.
No.
Did you have a lot to play with?
I did.
Because it feels like there's a lot here.
Yes. I think you probably could get 2 bags out of
Because if it's the first time you're using the fabric, you might be able to then play with one half and then you do it properly with the other half. Because I think it's always good that as beginners, when you're doing this, you always get nervous. And if you've never used PU, if you make a mistake, you want to be able to have a backup bit that you can
but only on a top stitch, only on the strap and any top stitching that is there. So you've got the clasp that you need to put on. So it's all marked up in the thing. Shall we open that up? Yes, if you don't mind.
Of course not. Well, you're going to be helping everybody, showing how to do this.
I don't know if I've made a hole in there. I think
I'm really bad at opening all packages. I always struggle with them. It's because Mill would always put these amazing products in and these fabulous sealants on them. Oh my goodness, look at that. So you've got 4 bits on it.
Yes, so we want the slim one on the flap.
There we go.
Thank you. So as it goes, as you can imagine, it goes underneath on the actual lining here. So we want to put it on the lining. So we want to put it on that side there.
So that's the split here. Okay.
Yeah, so we want to put it there.
And you're putting this on before you sew it?
Yes, before I put the two together. So I made a hole in that one. But
is that in the templates as well, that little round bit?
No, it didn't. I didn't. I put one on there and then I think I used a 1p coin or something. So
well, the good thing with this, I think you could actually...
way to do it, yes, is this.
Is actually use the whole thing.
Where is it? Oh, it's there. Where's the other bits? Any other bits? Oh, okay. So yes. See, you put that on there. You see, where you need it, and then you draw there. Let's see, you draw there and draw there, and you know that that's the little slits that the prongs. Yes.
And then if you wanted to, if you just move that out of the way, you can pop that on and then just draw around
you can see it. Mine's a bit.
But you can't really. You're not going to tell. That's the back of the fabric anyway. And you said you just used 1p.
Yes, yeah, just used a coin. I was just looking around for what I had.
So I'm going to leave you with the skinny ones.
That's all the only money I had at the time.
I think it's the only money all of us have got at the minute.
Right, doing this on live television. I don't want to. So have a.
We've already broken. I've already broken the sewing machine. Nothing
so
else
we are
could
actually going to put it through on the right side. So let me just do a bit more.
So you poke the holes through from the back.
You've just got to trust your ripper that you're, and then you stick that through there.
I wouldn't be using my big shears on that.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, you would, wouldn't you?
Well, I've got a smaller pair of scissors, but look,
you are going to use your big shears.
Well, I think we can get through there.
I think if anything sells these, it's that.
It's whether we can get the end. It's whether we can get the end in. No, I can't get the end in. Now let me get the small ones. Just slightly smaller. Oh, there we go.
You did do the one side.
Well, actually, what you can do is just to make, look, you can push that through and that makes it. Push that, yes, you see, that's, because it's this side that we want. I don't like marking the right side. So you push that through there, push that through there.
So let's just show the other side. So all you've done is you've got the cut marks that you've had there on both sides, and you're just pushing that through there.
And then I might need a...
And that circle is a 1p piece. And then I'm guessing we're just popping that on top of that.
Yes, like exactly. And it's the slim one on the flap, and then the deeper one on there. Yeah, so you just push those to the side like that.
I have images of you using a giant hammer or something.
I think you can do it with your look, you can do it with your hands, look. You might like to put that on something soft so you don't damage that. Like some of this fabric. When you're pushing down on it, you don't want to upset it. You might end up like that and it's all squashed and you never know how strong you are. So that's it. Don't bend it back too much, otherwise it will show on that side. But there, that's
brilliant.
So that's that.
That's very clever.
So, and then it's right sides together. All you've done
is just literally pull these to one side and then that's right in the middle where you were.
Also what I would say is put a bit of interfacing on it.
On
just a little bit of iron-on interfacing, just to reinforce that.
Just reinforce that little section there.
Yeah, because obviously this is cotton and you don't want it. It's very strong, isn't it, the magnet?
It is.
So yeah, sorry, I didn't say that. Yeah, just put a little square of interfacing on there.
Would you use the same one as that?
You could use a bit of that, couldn't you? But you might be battling to find the hole through all this cloud.
Fair enough.
If it's just a little bit of flat interfacing.
Yeah, a little bit of interfacing.
Because you will be putting that one on. So right sides together like that. And then, so you don't really want to, I've got some clips here, but you don't really want to pin anything. Yeah. And we're going to sew round here.
And these wonder clips, I love
Well, I do
them.
it within the seam allowance, so it's not really going to, when we open it up, it's, you know.
Well, we've got these on our website as well.
Yes, and they're so
I've
strong.
I've got hundreds of them.
They're so strong, aren't they? Yeah, I use, people say, well, what do you use? I use
but
pins.
How long have you had
I use
these?
everything.
Have you used them for? Because I've had mine for about 3 or 4 years at least.
Not as long as that, no.
But I'm using, I don't know if I'm using them, probably not too often, but mine have lasted very, very
Oh, what, you mean
well.
how long they last?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, mine have been years.
No, yes, yeah. Well, there's nothing really to go wrong with them. There's just a bit of metal in. There's not a spring. So we're going to sew. So the seam allowance is 5mm. So it's quite slim.
So just to get, my brain is now gone. So what you're doing now is you're putting that bit is what's up facing up there, and that's the lining on the outside of the bag there, right?
Yes. So
and
I'll just sew around that.
Out.
So if you're, I've got a pen. Here we go. I'll use a Sharpie. But you know, you've got to do.
You've got a friction pen if you want.
Yeah. I think I just
use the frictions, whichever one you'd like. Air dry.
I don't mind. It's just a show for now. So your seam allowance is going to be something like that anyway.
Okay.
So it's about 5mm. So when you're going around this curve, you might like to put some dots. You know, use a ruler or hem gauge, something to show you what the
guide you where you're going.
You know this. I call it a hemometer. People always laugh, but it's the hem gauge, and so you just move that along there, and you can put, you know, there, and then you can just measure it around.
Along.
But you know, this is a key bit here to where you're going to pivot. So you're going to pivot there, so go down there, and then go up there. So it's like I would definitely put that where you're going to pivot.
Perfect. There. So this, I've actually got one of these, but I use them for knitting.
Yeah.
For the knitting gauges.
Yeah.
And I see there it's a sewing and knitting
gauge.
Yes,
I call it a hemometer.
I think I'm going to call mine a thermometer as well now.
I do call it that, and then one of my ladies went into a shop and asked for one.
Oh, how fun.
She came back to me and said, it's not that, it's not called that, is it? And I went, well,
so this
no,
now,
it's not.
because we're doing a small seam on that, and we've got the...
yes, we probably could move the needle position,
could we? So as far as I'm aware, you're doing that one there.
Yeah. Well, this one here. Yes. So can I move it over to the
you can move it wherever
left?
You like.
Does
as long
it go?
As you don't need to damage the foot. If you need to change the foot as well, I think they're in this little section here.
No, I'm just going to go... That sounds good. Shall I do a little song?
If you like.
Yeah, that'll do.
All forms of entertainment will keep us going.
That's about it. And then I've done that, moved the needle, and then I'm just going to use the side of the foot to guide me. So it's just a bit tricky because it's this scallop curve is, you know, not too... so I'm obviously not going to go that fast. Maybe we'll go a bit slower. I'm going to go around corners. So you've really got to get it nice and curved. I might take him out of the way because it's not really moving much. So you could try and do it all in one go. I'm going to try and do it all in one go. So what I'm doing is I'm just keeping my eye on that side of the foot there. It's very good, that little guide on the side. So I'm coming up here. It's not so good there because it's got in the way. That's it. So I might just manually get myself, that's it, perfect. And then I'm going to go down there. Also, I don't know if this foot's going to get round there. Just see what I mean about there? So, because it's quite wide, isn't it? But we'll see. Smooth that there. Smooth it out. I think we're going to be all right. And I'm sort of doing it at arm's length as well. But I always say that on corners, always put a dot.
Dot on corners,
so you
pop the needle down into that dot and you go
Otherwise
around.
you're sort of flailing about, you don't really know where you're going, you have to keep moving it back again, is that correct?
Perfect.
Whoops, it's got caught on that little foot there.
I'm not rushing, I'm just telling you you've got about 15 minutes left for your demos. And there's no rush, just that you know.
I haven't quite hit that
mark. Don't want to give you that sort of 3 minutes finish a bag notice.
Oh, I just want to get everything done.
That's all right, we're not going to stop you. I might hover over your shoulder and look over your shoulder.
If we had 2 machines, then you could get on.
You have utter faith in my technique. What I lack in talent, I certainly make up for in enthusiasm.
Exactly, that's brilliant.
And now...
You don't need to do reverse.
No, you don't.
That.
Oh, you're going to cut the thread there?
Oh, I did try, but...
That's all right. I think you put your foot up a little bit.
I know.
That's all right.
I still haven't mastered it. So I haven't quite pivoted right there.
That's
but, you know, you've got to... This is the main thing. And I think that's quite a good curve.
It's live TV. We're not expecting it for you.
These... Right, we're going to go right up there.
Oh, I'm not looking. I'm looking away.
So you've got to go right up to the...
I have utter faith in you, but I'm looking away.
They're my friend. Make friends with your scissors and then they'll...
Gosh.
So you could trim that. It looks a bit untidy, but just... clip your curves.
You're notching all the way through.
Well, just on the curves.
Not even notching, just on the curves.
Yeah. This will make it
So
all lie flat.
you'll laugh. Before last week, I have never sewn a curve in my entire life. Never. Not one curve
I'm going to
ever.
faint.
Not once, because it's all patchwork. And I've made...
Don't you do curves
I've
in
made
patchwork?
4 quilts in a week. All of them
Yes.
have got curves.
Did you have a bit of a hang-up?
No, I just was
right?
terrified of them.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I'm more terrified of them now. But I have to say that it is very therapeutic.
You do a lot of
when you
this
get
clipping
it right.
of the curves with dressmaking to ease shoulders and sleeves, yeah. You don't need to do it on the straight.
Well, I've cheated. I've got a really good cheat for people who want to do curves.
Yeah?
Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, 2-hour special. That's if I finish the quilt today.
No, I haven't got a knitting needle. I have to get my hand in there. Anyway, so we're going to turn it through. So hopefully all that clipping, all that lovely curved...
I see you've got a pen. Can you use the back of a pen?
Yeah, back of any, or it might be use the screwdriver. It just needs to be a bit pointy.
Oh my goodness, this has worked out really well. So this is our mustard bundle that we've got.
Yeah, just roll it around.
Even once you've done that, you've used the blue. You've still got 3 fat quarters left off.
Yeah, I think that looks so nice together. Look at the combination.
Gosh,
that looks so nice.
And we call this ochre, but it is a mustardy as well.
It's kind of teal, that, isn't it? So, you know, roll it around.
You see, I was just looking
there.
at this going together. Even those two go so beautifully together.
Yeah.
Because it's just slightly different in colourway, but it's just so beautifully done.
So look, there's your...
Look at you!
Flappity-doo-dah. So,
do you know what? I even feel confident doing that.
Do you? Well, that's brilliant.
I've just heard we've got less than 25 of the mustard bundle left.
Really?
Isn't that brilliant?
That's good. That's such a lovely colour.
That has worked really, really well.
So I would top stitch that, you know, like on my
right,
here.
Okay. Now, when you're top stitching it, would you do this with the cotton on the bottom?
Yes,
cotton on the bottom and do it all the way around?
I think you could do that without the walking foot, because you've got the cotton on the bottom, haven't you?
Have we got time?
Oh no, I won't do it now because I want to. Well, no, I want to show you how to put the thing in.
Finish the bag. Come now. You've got 4 minutes. It reminds me when I was on Kirsty's homemade Christmas makes. You got 6 hours to make a quilt, start to finish, and someone always go, "You have 15 minutes left, and you haven't bound anything."
Oh, that is scary. But is that 6 hours non-stop?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Bit like Bake Off.
Yeah. So anyway, so you can decide if you want to top stitch that, because it's a bit, if you go wrong when you've done all that work and you put your clasp on.
But this is all in the book and it shows you how to do it, and if you want to use a contrasting thread, the details are all in the book
definitely.
as well.
But I mean, it doesn't actually, if that's your bag, it doesn't actually look too bad if it's not even top stitched, you know? It looks quite nice. I love my love heart. I've done that well.
I think that's beautiful. That's brilliant.
Right, so
we've got 10 minutes left.
So putting it all together, we have to put right side. So we need to put your other one of those on.
Perfect. So that's the thick one there. And
Yes,
you've done it exactly the same way.
Yes.
But you haven't drawn the circle on that.
No.
Now, with this being the PU, how would you get through there?
I would start with
the pair of scissors.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the unpicker.
Yeah, I just put this. Yeah, I start with get in there with the unpicker first, and then I think
Perfect.
Because this does go through, you see, like a knife through butter.
But the great thing is, you've clearly done this before. I would be clicking my heels 3 times and running around the room to try and get my good luck back up.
And you need to make sure that you've gone through the fleece at the back as well. I think I've cut it.
Because
you might get through the PU. It's coming through. You might get through the PU because that's like a knife through butter kind of thing. And then you're sort of flailing about trying to find. Right, that, stick that on, bend that back. I can do it with my strong hands. Maybe I'll lean on that.
You could use that PU as your protector.
Yeah, just on the side there. There.
Brilliant.
All right. So that is all the measurements are perfect. So when that goes on there, that will definitely it just all fits into place.
Perfect. And you can see the bag is the clip is really
yeah. So I tug hard on that, it won't come off.
Oh, it won't. Oh God, oh my gosh. I'm terrified this is going to tear. That is really strong.
Yes.
And that's why you'd recommend doing the interfacing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you've got the fleece on that side.
Fleece on that side, just put a bit of interfacing.
So you put that together like that, and then you'd sew round.
And then you say that your major meeting points are there.
Yes.
Could you start that side and go that way and then come back?
You could do, but Yes, you could do, but you don't
Is
want to
this
end up
on
with
the
any
inside?
extra fabric that you're trying to stretch and manipulate. So I would use
see, I don't make
these
bags, that's why I
right
thought
on
I'd
the
check.
edge there.
Because as a quilter,
And you're looking.
if I'm a tricky seam, I start
Yes,
3 or 4
yes,
millimetres
you do
before
the tricky bit first.
Exactly, and then go back and
And then
everything's...
fill in the gaps kind of
Exactly.
thing. So yeah, you just want to make sure, can you see that?
Yep.
That they're, I'll take that away. And then you could put one there. So that's really important. Not so much in the lining, although it is all important, but this bit on the outside.
Well, this is the bit everybody's going to see.
Exactly.
And if anything's going to annoy you about something you've done wrong, this is the bit that's going to be it, isn't it?
Exactly.
So just take the extra minute or two to
because it's quite bulky, I might make one seam go one way and one the other.
Would you press seams open on this?
No.
Not?
No, because it's the PU
No, of course.
and stuff like that. It's such a little seam. It can just be pushed over to the side. But with a lining, it can.
See, I think for bag makers, they're a little more forgiving with left and right, or dark side, one side open.
Oh, well, we do to the dark side. We do that.
Always. May the 4th be with
Yeah,
you.
exactly. We always do that. And then, obviously, with dressmaking and pressing, you want, your shoulders to be pressed to the back. You don't want that pressed forward and that back. There's got to be uniformity. Yes, yeah. So that's that. And then you've got the 2 of these to go together. So you can see on this one, I put a dash where my seam
Yes.
allowance
So that's
is.
exactly what you did on that one there.
Yes, so that would be pinned there. How much time have we got, John?
Hannah, how much time have we got left? Got 7 minutes.
Oh, okay. So I can sew around the main bag so we can get a
course.
feeling of that, and then you can see it with the flap, because that's really nice. And I
Well, I think if you can do this one, the lining will be much easier, wouldn't it? Because there's slightly less fabric and bits to go through. So this is, you'd leave the setup where you were before.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, and obviously because you're dealing with this fleece, you just got to make sure you're following the yellow,
yellow, not
the mustard, yeah, because it could distract you.
So we've got less than 25 left of the ochre kit, if you're interested in that. Oh, we've got less than 20 now, so it's obviously very popular. Well done, Debbie. Well done, Angela. And I've stopped calling you Alison now, so that's a good thing
brilliant.
as well. I really apologise about that.
Maybe I'm not like an Alison to you.
And it's been all my life. If I've ever called somebody by the wrong name, they're that forever.
That's it.
It's like poor Joe. I called him Tom once, and now he's been Tom ever since.
Oh, that's it. And, beep, beep, beep. So it's quite thick through there, but you're going through this fleece, so you don't particularly need...
Do you need a different needle for that? Would you use a leather needle?
I don't think so, no, it's so soft.
You've got an ordinary sewing needle in there, so it's going fine.
It's not as scary as it might seem. Just make sure the fleece lies flat and doesn't get all puckered up when you're going round. So I might make that one go there. And just check that that's all. So get a nice curve going. Whoop, there we go.
I'm hearing from Hannah there are a lot of people who've got this wonderful book in their basket. Don't forget that if you haven't checked out, it's not yours yet. Because we do go down to that point where sometimes we end up with limited stock, and if the bag isn't in if you checked out bag, it's not yours.
Right, I've sewn round.
Wonderful.
Now the moment of truth.
Cross our fingers.
My darts.
Cross our fingers. I have utter faith in you.
This is all my reputation. Can I look at them first? Oh, that's a good one.
Check the other one. Check the other one. I have utter faith in you.
There'll be the good one and a... Oh, maybe not so bad.
That's not bad. Don't be silly. You're being too much of a perfectionist.
There, look. That's
no, I'm sorry. I'm going to show you the one that you think. We're going to look at the bad one first. Really?
Oh.
She's complaining about that. Honestly,
well,
that's ridiculous. But that is spot on. But you've done really well with that. You've done better than I could have done. And the push it, of course. Well, I've just never done it before. No, you go.
There. So that's that. And then to put it all together,
yes.
Got your flap.
Yep.
So your flap would go there, like that. So what you would do...
You're not putting lining in at this point?
No.
So
I'm just sort of tacking the sort of elements together. Okay. So obviously you need to make sure that that's... I think that worked out about a centimetre away there.
Perfect. And that's in the book as well.
Not so much there, so, you get
a little friendly persuasion.
Yes. And then I would just put that in the machine and baste it, just a quick stitch just to keep it in position.
Sort of a 5 length? 4 or 5 length?
What's that?
So at the moment you're stitching at 2.4,
so
you'd extend the length of the stitch.
length of the stitch. Yes, and within the seam allowance. So it's just to
hold it all together.
Yes, exactly. So and this is the time when you put your
Your strap,
so
of course.
The strap is longer, and I think Debbie said to cut it down to 41. I think so. I think that's a bit longer than that. But you know, whatever you feel comfortable with, you're going to hold it like that. So you might want it a bit, you know, even more for security. Maybe, I don't know. Make me want it longer.
Perfect.
Yeah. So.
But the great thing is the fabric's such good value. You could make 2 or 3, and then you could do different lengths of handles for each
in the book
occasion.
there will be one with a whole strap going all the way around.
Even better as well.
But this is just the clutch bag. So also I was thinking of the side. I'm right-handed, so I want to go like that because I want to show off my little rosette. So I would think about what side you're
going to hold it best.
Yes. So if that's there, then I would like it to be there. So here, so this is quite thick to go through.
And again, you wouldn't change your needle for this, you just use a normal needle.
Well, I might use the walking foot because it can chug over and get through it. But you can, I think you'd maybe use a thicker needle maybe for this because you're going through quite a few layers.
There's many layers.
And you just help it along, just go through.
Anything that you can do to help it along, I think is always a good plan.
So I'll put a thing in there. So that's also what you would sort of based in position. So, and then you've got your lining here. Let me put a few more pins in. And then we'll just put one inside the other. That's it. Oh, let's put it up. Sorry, I'm just sort of taking
you take your time. You have 2 minutes left.
Do I? So you put one inside the other like this?
Perfect.
Like that. I don't know whether I can quite get that in there.
Oh, that's gone a different way than I expected it to.
So it's right sides together.
Oh, right.
I've definitely got the right sides, haven't I?
Yes, you do.
Yes. So I can't see now, put it in. So you've got all that in position.
Confuse me.
So that's there,
so
look.
clever.
So that's it. Right side's there, right side of the lining, well, that'll be your zip there, and then the right side of that. So what you do is you sew all the way around. So you are sewing quite a thickness with the flap, and then obviously you're sewing over that, so just take your time, chug through, maybe manually get through. But you know, it looks thick, but it does go through very easily. So that's that.
And then when you turn it out,
and you've got to turn it. So what I do is,
have you left a hole in the base of your
lining?
lining?
Well, I think Debbie does say to use a turning gap, but I often sew it.
Right.
And then I unpick it because when you have to re-sew it, it's got the memory of where it was.
Right.
Because sometimes you can sew up. You can sew a gap like that, like a gap like that. And they're not going to match. So I'd sew right across, unpick it, and then it likes to go where it was. So here,
that's a top tip. That
I would so it's all sewn, and then I would unpick
from there to there,
to there, and then you'd pull this out through that hole all the way out, and then you'd push the lining back in.
Do you need to cut a hole for the strap? Or
no, it's all incorporated, isn't it?
Perfect.
So if you think it's like. Sort of that, and you're sewing all the way round.
Perfect.
And that pops out. And then you don't have to, but you can top stitch again. All the way around. So that reinforces obviously that as well. You're sewing through that.
Wonderful.
Like that.
And I haven't been telling you, but you've only got 20 seconds left.
Have I?
So you did that in the most perfect of times.
Brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant.
I cannot thank you enough.
Oh, you're very welcome. I've enjoyed myself.
It's been lovely having you, and I'm going to do our new official Lovely to have you. Look forward to having you again. And please, if you didn't watch the first hour, come back to watch it on catch up later. And I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I've loved it. Thank you.
Wonderful. So I'm going to do a little bit of a wrap up of what we've had. We've got the wonderful Debbie Shaw book for the occasions bag. This bag, this book is, there are 15 different projects in the bag, $11.99 for the book. And you've just got these fantastic projects on it. It's working out to about 87p a bag pattern. So you can see you've got all the different bags here. This one is, I don't want to get these names wrong. This is a zip clutch, which is quite tough, but you know, the great thing is you've got lots of easy patterns in here as well. Got this gorgeous fringe bag here, which I love. And top tip from Angela today is if you're using PU and you've got some left over, PU won't fray, so you can just sit there and if you're having a bad day one day and you want to cut some PU, you can. Great way of keeping the book kept together. Gorgeous templates inside, which are a lovely, lovely plastic, translucent as well, so you can see them. And where are we? Oh, the bags are so fun. I'm really excited. I wish I could use bags like that because it's just such a great deal. And now we've got these gorgeous kits. We've got 2 different colourways, so we've used one of them. So you're getting this wonderful magnetic snap. You've got the navy PU, 140 centimetres wide by ½ metre. And I think we're down to, how much was that, Hannah? Gosh, we've only got 20 of these navy bundles left. They've been a really good seller today. But you get so much fabric with it, and you get such... The great thing is as a beginner, I'm always terrified when I do things, and I think, oh, if I make a mistake, I won't have enough fabric to finish the project. But you can see you're not using all the PU just in one bag, and you're certainly not using all of these 4 fat quarters. So these fat quarters are in both of the kits today, and you can just see how much fabric they are. And with these as well, if I'm not mistaken, these are 55 inches wide. So they're extra large fat quarters. They're not the standard, these are 19.5 by 27.5 inch fat quarters. So you're not just getting the normal 19-inch or 20-inch square fabrics. There's a little bit extra bit on that. And again, there's so many different colours on it, so you could do different sections of the lining in different packs. It's just a really, really lovely deal. And for less than £20 for the whole bundle, you can't go wrong with that. If I'm not mistaken, we've also got these individually on our website as well, so just have a look for those. I think they're £2.99. So you can see, just taking the £2.99 off that, you're paying less than £17 for the fabric, and you can't go wrong with that. So we've got the wonderful clasp and the fat quarter bundle also with our ochre package, but we've got this beautiful ochre/mustard fabric PU, and we're now in the low teens of this. So if you are watching on the repeat, there's a strong chance we may not have it left. So if you are looking at it and you do want it, make sure you give the call centre a call, because if you haven't checked out and it's just in your basket, it's not yours yet. So if somebody does ring in, there's a strong chance you might lose that. And don't worry about that. If you check out and you buy the ochre because you don't want to lose it, you're only paying the £3.95 1 P&P all day, so you can then go back and buy something else later on the day and only pay the 1 P&P. And again, we've got that beautiful fleece, the Fusible Fleece, which is H640. Unfortunately, that hasn't arrived today, but it will be on the website tomorrow. I'm with you again, 9 till 11 tomorrow, with curves and ovals and amazing project. And, sorry, what's that, Hannah? Oh, we've got a menu of what's coming up tomorrow as well. Oval quilt and creative grids. It's a really fun hour. You all know I'm terrified of curves, and I've actually found a way that I am loving this quilt, and I'm going to go and finish it this afternoon, hopefully. Otherwise, we're not going to have a show tomorrow. And I would never let you down on that. Never in a million. So make sure you do check out the website for that H640. That was right, isn't it? Yes, I've got it finally. Last 30 seconds of the show, and I finally got the name right. But that will be on the website again. And just www.sewingstreet.com. You'll have the bit in the middle with the what's going on with the YouTube, and then beneath that you've got all the products from today's show and all the other shows throughout the time we've been on. I think it's almost 4 weeks now. Can't believe it. It seems like a lifetime ago. And again, Debbie Shaw, thank you so much for your call in. If you ever do want to message in, contact us on our Facebook page. We monitor it throughout the show. Thank you all so much for your time. Have a great Mother's Day. Go well. Bye-bye.